For Progressive Voices, I'm John Sinton, and this is a turning point. Today, turn the page. After the debate disaster, it was clear that President Biden would have to step down. The timing was the only mystery. Now he's left and anointed his vice president on the way out. She's already been endorsed by the money, the unions, national legislators, and multiple states' governors, so the nomination is hers to lose. She's lived unfairly, in my estimation, with detractors on both sides, and that is about to change as Democrats rally around her. I think you'll be surprised by these 5 things. Number 1, yes, Harris was a dismal retail politician in 2020. After 4 intensive years of on-the-job training, she's become a fierce advocate and a commanding public speaker. Number 2, women are angry. Look at Kansas and Ohio, where Republicans tried their hardest to keep abortion off their referenda ballots and failed. Harris is more powerful on this issue than anyone I can think of. She's given voice to tens of millions of women who will show up in November. Trump-Vance has no counter. Here's a sample quote from J.D. Vance. "We are effectively run in this country by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too." Now, how do you think that's going to play in your home? Number 3, of course, Trump-Vance will slime her, but Trump will not debate her no matter what he says. It would be a huge tactical error, and they know that. She would wipe the floor with him. By now, we've all seen the act. There's nothing left up his sleeve. His lies and bluster will be met and dismantled live by her multi-platform ads and outreach. Number 4, do not rule out the never Trump factor. You know, he was supposed to deliver a unifying speech at his coronation, but Trump can't help being Trump. And while he did well for 20 minutes, he then roamed off script for the next very boring 70 minutes. No surprise. It was a speech filled with negativity about America and, of course, grievances. His grievances, not yours or mine. His grievances. He's trying to keep a lid on Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation's wet dream of misogyny, racism, totalitarianism, and Christian nationalism. But right out of the gate, his running mate is quoting from P25 and the manifesto that would give outsized power to an already reckless man. People with children and grandchildren do not want another 4 years of chaos from a man they know to be unfit for office and who is far from an appropriate role model for their offspring. They want a decent person they can proudly point to. Last week, a friend said she would vote for Biden's head in a jar before letting Trump back in the White House. Number 5, invisible to most, is a cadre of digitally savvy social media pros who have been waiting to be set free. You've never heard of Courier Newsroom if you're not in a swing state, but Tara McGowan and her cohorts are garnering millions of strategic impressions right where it counts. Racists, misogynists, theocrats, and authoritarians won't be moved, but most Americans will be. Trump was a novel reality TV star when he entered the race in 2016, but that novelty has worn off. Kamala Harris, should she be the nominee, will do just fine. She'll leverage the Biden administration's accomplishments, and there is much to ballyhoo. For instance, the $1.7 trillion COVID relief package, or the $1 trillion infrastructure rebuild, or the bill lowering medical costs and allowing Medicare to negotiate prices, and the new $35 fixed price for insulin, or the bill putting America back in the semiconductor manufacturing business, or the bill protecting same-sex couples from future politicians, and finally, and really important, rallying the world in support of Ukraine. And importantly, Old Joe will be credited for righting the ship of state, getting us back to our familiar leadership role in the wider world, restoring equilibrium with our allies, and stopping the chaos his predecessor conjured, which, in the words of West Wing creator Aaron Sorkin, was, quote, a dump truck of ignorance and bad intentions. Sorkin further imagines what he'd have written if the fictional president's, quote, opponent had been a dangerous imbecile with an observable psychiatric disorder who related to his supporters on a fourth grade level and treated the law as something for suckers and poor people. Oh, rebel and was a hero to white supremacists, unquote. With a younger, vibrant, well-qualified female candidate, this race just got a lot more interesting. Oh, and by the way, it is not the race Donald Trump wanted to run. For Progressive Voices, I'm John Sinton.
Go to the on-demand section of progressivevoices.com or the PV app and look for A Turning Point.
I'm Desi Doyen from BradBlog.com.
And I'm Brad Friedman, also from BradBlog.com.
You're listening to the Progressive Voices channel on TuneIn.
CD quality audio, fewer commercials.
And all your favorite progressive shows.
Like Hartman, Miller, Malloy.
And more.
And instead of local commercials, you hear great features.
Like the Brad Blog's Green News Report.
That is great. No local radio affiliate, no prob. We're mobile.
We are where you are.
So while you're visiting BradBlog.com,
don't forget to listen to Progressive Voices.
And don't forget to spread the word.
PV brings you the best progressive audio and video in one free stream. Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Randy Rhodes, David Packman, Brad Friedman, and more. Search Progressive Voices on the TuneIn app. Download the free Progressive Voices app or go to progressivevoices.com.